this month's Make and Create, I'm making a salt stone henge with a stone circle. Some of you may recognise Stonehenge, and that's a good example of what we're going to try and make. So you need 2 parts flour, 1 part salt, 1 part water, a big mixing bowl, a baking tray, and a tray with some soil. To start, we're going to take, once again, that's 2 parts flour and 1 part salt. Pop those together in a bowl and give them a stir. Now I'm going to take the same amount of water as I had of salt and add that into the bowl. I'm going to mix that together into a dough. It doesn't matter too much if the amounts aren't exact, and you can always add a bit more of something if you need. My dough is looking a little bit sticky here, so I'm going to add a bit more flour, but you can add water if it's dry. I'm going to give that another stir so that it starts to come together into a dough. Like that. Just going to clear some space so I can dust my work surface with flour, and then I can turn my dough out onto my work surface like that. And I'm just going to knead it for a couple of seconds to finish bringing it together so it's a smooth dough that I can shape. You can roll it out with a rolling pin, or like I'm doing, you can just use your hands to flatten the dough. It's going to be about 1 centimetre or 2 thick. And now I can start cutting my stones out of my dough. I'm just going to use a knife here to cut some rough rectangles, roughly the same size, but it's not too important. Like that. Then I'm going to pop those onto a baking tray with some greaseproof paper on it, ready to go into the oven. And once I've done those ones, I'm going to bring together the leftover dough and cut out a few more stones so I use up all the dough here. And the last few bits I'm just going to shape into a rectangle with my hands. Then they go into the oven at about 120 degrees for 2 to 3 hours until they're set, and then you want to leave them to cool. Once your stones are cool, we can start assembling the stone henge. So I take our tray of soil, and I'm just going to use my fingers to create a ring ditch in the soil. So the ditch, the kind of ring ditch, is the part that's actually a henge, and the stone circle is the bit that goes on top. So now that I've got my ditch, it's time to start assembling my stones into a circle. This bit can be a bit fiddly, so have a play around. See what you can do, get them into a ring and get them standing up. You may find it easier if your soil is slightly wet for this bit. And assemble your henge. You can see mine's a little bit wobbly, but there we go. And that is my salt dough henge complete.